Well, folks, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever part of the world you might be watching, this is Focus on Liberia, and we are here sampling the views of Liberians as it relates to the legacy of President George Weah. As you may be aware that President Weah got defeated in the recent election, and his tenure is gradually finishing. So we have come to speak to Liberians as it relates to his legacy. What are some of the things they can remember, or they will remember the president for when he shall have left office? So we have before our camera a very young fellow. Good afternoon and welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Please introduce yourself.
I'm Ralph Denix.
Ralph, we are here specifically to talk to you as it relates to President Weah legacy. What are some of the things you will miss the president for, and what are some of the things as well the president did not do well that you want to express?
Let me say thank you so much for the question. I think the question is a very good question, and as it relates to the president legacy, for which I personally will continue to miss this president, this outgoing president, in person of Ambassador Dr. George Weah, is that his legacy is there are many, they are uncountable, they are numerous. And if you just look, I don't want to carry you distant. Where we are on the Bourgeois Island specifically, we are in Clariton. So I will just take you a little drive along the Doe community in Clariton Belt, where you have a feeder road being constructed by the president. And this road is first of its kind in the history of the establishment of the people of Liberia, this part of Liberia. And if you drive along that road, you will see a very beautiful modern sports park, along with other little area for the young generation of this community to enjoy themselves. And this is something that the people of this district, specifically district number 14, and the Liberia Alliance will continue to remember the president. And as I said, it is many. Even most of the food away, if you go to the rest of most of our county, along the Pittsville Belt, if you go Johnsonville, you go Banjo, the rest of them, you will see other roads being established. Even as we speak now, some of them is still undergoing construction. So based upon these blueprint of the president, we believe that President Weah leaving the picture is something that deep down sink in our mind as Liberian. It's not a matter of being a partisan. It's a matter of seeing the actuality of what is unfolding, what is existing in terms of blueprint, in terms of legacy. So on the aspect of we are leaving the picture, it is something that is, in my mind, it is very hurtful, because it's very hurtful in the sense that I hope, it is my greatest prayer, that the president-elect will maintain the legacy, will build on the legacy and improve the legacy. We all know the issue of Liberia is the issue of maintenance. So we hope that what this government has started and was unable to end, or what is still in process, or what have ended, as even the PHP project that was just dedicated on Saturday. I think when you go there, you will not remember back in the days when they say, oh, there were people that were killed. You can't remember as well that there were people slaughtered around that belt. So there are many things the president have done. If we just continue to catalog, we will not live here. But just a few we have listed, the military hospital and the rest of them, the Bapuru hospital, all these things. Even in Nimba, there are series of development the president is coming on in Nimba. So I just want to say, with all these things are reason why Liberians will always remember President Weah. Even if President Weah do not come back 2029, but we still remember him as one of our good presidents.
Are there specific area or sector that maybe the president or the government did not do well?
If you ask me, I will look at the agricultural sector.
Okay.
Yeah, the agricultural sector, in my own mind, I have not seen much in the agricultural sector, I must admit. Personally, I don't see much in the agricultural sector.
What do you think might have led to the president's defeat?
If you ask me, as the president said, the Liberian people decided. But realistically, from my own point of view, those we consider lieutenants to the president, actually they didn't do well because these are the people we expected to go into the trenches of the community where they live. We realized that some of these people, even after they were recruited or appointed, some of them even left the community. And we only see them even on the day of the election, not even during the campaign period. So these people are, in my mind, are some of the reasons. Many of them don't have a single auxiliary group in their name to say, oh, this man for the re-election of President Weah. Because when you do that, President Weah will not be everywhere at the same time. He's not a god to be everywhere at the same time. So that's why you have a lieutenant, or you expect a lieutenant to go into the trenches of the community, into the counties, to be able to establish foot soldier, establish what we call the Jehovah's Witness form of evangelism, to bring people on board. So President Weah lost in this election, or CDC lost in the election. I think the president himself will know where our fault come from.
Right after the election, when preliminary results were being pronounced, President Weah considered defeat. Do you think that could be another, issue as well? President Weah going to be remembered for maintaining the peace of the country?
Thank you. I listen to diverse views on the president coming out to congratulate the president-elect. Other Liberians, other Seditians see it as something that they don't want to accept up to present.
Yeah.
And that for me, if I have a flower to present to the president that very faithful night of a pronouncement by accepting the result, not be officially called at the entire result by neck. And the president, I think, since I was born as a child, I recounted on the age of 18. It's my first time. If possible, even history record this the first in the history of Africa to see a seated president congratulating a president-elect without final official result being announced. It is something remarkable. It is something commendable. It is something that we as a Liberian will boast of as history-making ground for us tomorrow. I think the world, we have seen a lot of accolades being given to our president only because of the decision he took. And in my mind, as a Liberian, it is something that even my grandchildren, my unborn children, I will one day have a good forum in our home and tell them, say, this is the history, this is the blueprint, the legacy of President Weah. And therefore, all of us, as emerging leader, must emulate President Weah for what he did. To accept a result as a one-term president in Africa, it is not something just easy. We are seeing other leaders win, even with the margin of 10%, the margin of 20%, and yet they still take the result in their favor. And if you look at the difference between President Weah and that president-elect, the president-elect Joseph Weah, you will know that it takes an African president to do what President Weah did. To accept such a result, it is troubling, and it is something that up to now, other Liberians, but we are calling on these Liberians who see our president's decision to be too hasty, to be not in the best interest of them. But one good thing President Weah said, he said, Liberian win and Liberian have decided, and the movement of citizens of your movement, therefore they will come back 2029.
So, most Liberians we have spoken to, they have said President Weah did not do well, or did not do much in his 6-year tenure. Here you are lavishing praises on the president, the outgoing president.
I don't know from which context or which perspective other Liberians will say Weah did not do well. But if you look at the country at large, you look at Liberia from every sector. As I said, for me, the agricultural sector is where I've seen much has not been done. But if you look at Liberia globally, the economic situation globally, it is very tense. Things are difficult in the world at large. So if you look at Liberia now, even if you look at our neighboring countries like Africa, the Sierra Leone, if you look at the economic condition of their country, you understand that Liberia is doing her best. We agree that we have not done all, maybe to the expectation of all Liberians. But one good thing you should know, there will be critics, there will be opposition. So if you will just base your argument on the basis that we have not done well, then I will ask you to go and take a look back. Go to Bapuru, go to Nima, go to Mangibi, go to come Maserado and see what we have done. Yes, there are other things we know. We haven't do everything with all, but he have done his part. If only Liberian could just exercise restraint, give President Weah additional 6 years, we could see what we have done. But the beauty of it, this is Liberia, and the issue of democratic is why we all pledge our loyalty, we all believe in. So everybody have the right to exercise that constitutional right, a democratic right to go to the ballot box and decide their next president. And Liberian people have spoken. They said they don't want President Weah, they want Joseph Yumabaka. Now we have Joseph Yumabaka, he's our president. We will live and we believe that President Yumabaka elect will do his best. And it is our prayer that this new government that coming do their best, we all stand to benefit a lot. We all stand to hear, the world will hear us. The world will not only hear Bwaka, the world will hear the entire Liberia who contribute to this coming government.
Finally, from 1 to 100, what would be that grading if you want to grade President Weah and his government? What would be that grading?
If you ask me, for grading purpose, I will grade this particular government 75%.
75%.
75%.
Your name again, sir?
Once again, I'm Rob Benix, resident of district number 15, and also a resident of district number 14. I said two residents because I play a key role. I'm a stakeholder decision maker in district number 14 and also a stakeholder and decision maker in district number 15.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
I get to the chairman. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, I can say.
Okay.
And how are you?
What's your name?
I'm James Biane,
Okay.
a resident of Clarendon, District 14, precisely, and chairman of the Pres Social and Lighting Club, the social club based in Clarendon that has existed for the past 12 years.
Mr. Chairman, it's good to have you on our camera. We are here purposely to solicit your view as it relates to President Weah, like I said. Some of the things you will miss the president for as in leave office.
Thank you again for this interview. And thank you for coming. Welcome to this show. This is a great initiative in America. Taking up the time to listen to the views of Liberians with regard to our current situation. President Weah is a great leader, and there are a lot of things, initiatives that which he has done, and many Liberians were missing along. President Weah during his term has touched some of the sectors, the educational sector, the health sector, and even the infrastructure development. He did his best, and there are so many things we remember him for. The increments of employment increments, especially the teachers, the nurses, the constructions of municipal place that were not seen in our country before, the construction of some hospitals, most especially in remote area, the military hospital. These are things that were not seen in the country before, and we really appreciate him for those things. So there are other things that we really missing from.
Are there areas as well, maybe his government, that he did not do well? We would like to speak to that.
Yeah, some of the things that we believe, and I believe that he didn't do well, and some of those policies that were brought forth by his government, and most especially the issue of the harmonization policy. The harmonization policy wasn't bad, but it has negative effect more than the positive effect. And its essence was to reduce people at a higher salary and at the same position, reduce the salary and be able to employ other people, but then it went beyond to those who were making more than 4, 5, 6,000, and it came down to people who were making 100, 250s and what have you. And so it was burdensome on majority of the civil servants who were at a low pitch, and to have seen their money being deducted, most especially the nurses, the teachers. I can remember during editing time was around 60, 64, 65,000. Their salary was cut off during the term of President Weah, only because of this harmonization policy. And it was very efficacious on the government, part of the government to have done that. So I think it's one of the reasons that already have a setback on his government.
Do you also maybe know some of his cabinet members who did extremely well, and some of those as well who did not perform like you care to?
Yes, I must admit there were other cabinet members who did extremely well. I was very grateful to the director of NAFA, Emmett Glasgow. She did extremely well. She had reformed the NAFA and agricultural sector, most especially for the fishery aspect. I think by now our fisheries are enjoying some benefits. Before the entity existed, I hate to say it had not existed before. But I think under this George Weah regime, we have got to know the importance of NAFA and some of the things that they have been doing. So I must be grateful to Emmett Glasgow for contribution to the nation.
What about some of the cabinet members as well who did not perform? You know of?
The issue of the finance minister,
Samuel
Weah, okay. He didn't perform. He did well for the people. And the commerce minister, but then tried their best, but at last they had to become relaxed again, go back to status quo. The majority of those people, they didn't do well. The majority of those people, most especially the cabinet minister who were closer to him, the legs of the former Minister of State, Samuel McGill, did not do well at all. So these are people who have close contact with the president and they didn't give him the rightful advice that were necessary for the Liberian people.
So you think these are reasons that might have led to the president's defeat?
Yeah, these are some of the reasons that led to the defeat of the president. Because when the country is experiencing a tough shape, when the president had promised the people that they are not going to be spectators of their economy, and then you will find out that the Liberians have even become more than spectators, even outside of the pitch, not even on the pitch. So it becomes very bad for the people. It becomes disenchanted to the point that they want to fight back. But the only means that I'm be thankful to the Liberian people that they have used what they have as their power to do what is necessary for them. But the cabinet minister didn't do well for them, and some of those who the president put in position, they thought that they could have worked and helped him to change the country, but which they didn't do. And the fault has come from him because he was sometimes lenient in taking decisions on most of those people. This was what brought him down to where we had to.
Chairman, finally, anything maybe you want to add that they didn't ask you? Okay, final comment.
That we want to say bravo to the president. And one of the things I must say I do really respect him highly is his tolerance, that is political tolerance. In fact, I regard him as the father of modern democratic reformation in Africa. And knowing him to be the president in Africa of the scenarios we have seen, it is just kind of difficult for an African president, seated president, to just give up or to have congratulated his colleague or a contender at the point where we are into 90 to 90 minutes of the game. Where the Reverend and I blew the result, the final result, but then he said congratulations to his contender. I must commend him for that. That was very, very encouraging on his part. And for the fact that he had told us that the Liberian people have spoken, the will of the Liberian people will prevail. I commend him for that. And we always appreciate him for continuing and keeping the peace that he has kept for the past 6 years. And he served us as president.
Your name again, Chairman?
I'm James Ibinyane, a once more the chairman of the Pro-Social Alliance Club, a resident of Clarendon District.
Thank you. Well, folks, voices of Liberians there speaking to the legacy of President George Weah, some of his progress and challenges as well. So, my name is Jeremiah Morgan. We live in District number 13, Maserati County.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're